Hello, everyone. Hi, Amanda. So nice of you to join us. We will go ahead and get started in just a couple minutes. We'll let everyone kind of come in and get settled. I hope you brought ice cream. I did not, but when I'm done with this project, I'm totally having ice cream before bed. Hello, hello. If you want to say hello and tell me you're here, and we'll get started in just a minute or two so everyone can find us and get their notifications and all that fun stuff. Hi, Kate. How are you tonight? I know, Amanda. I love ice cream too. I am not one like a sweet tooth type person. Like, I'm not big on cake or cookies or baked stuff, but give me all the ice cream. Love it. Have you all gotten a chance to see the new release and all the fun goodies this month? They're so cute. I love them. I Hold on 1 second. I'm just gonna shut the door. I forgot to shut it when I was last in here. Hi, Karen. So, of course, because I'm on the design team, I do get some free products, but this particular release, I got my design team stuff, and then I went ahead and placed an order for the rest of it too. So, how fun is that? Hi, Karen. Nice to see you. Okay, let's get started. I want to just make sure we give everyone time to get in, but it looks like this is it for tonight. Well, for now. People will come later, right? Okay. So, first of all, let's talk about bundles. So we've had a little revamp on the bundles and how they work and how they function. So the first thing you'll notice is that most of the bundles have dropped in price. For instance, tonight's bundle is only like $29 and some cents. And then when you go to the collection, you'll find each product individually, which is awesome because then you can pick and choose what you want to grab. But also, you'll also find that the products that are bundled together are not all of the products that me or Sean or Walter or Candy are gonna be using. It's not all of the products, it's just a little sampling kind of the products. I hope that makes sense. So tonight's bundle is $29 and some change. And you will find down in the description box links to tonight's bundle and also links to the collection, which is all of the products I'm using tonight and all of the products that Sean and Walter will be using on Wednesday. So it's all there for you to grab. Tonight, we have for our bundle the Scoop of Kindness stamp set, which is really, really cute. So I'll give you a little close up. In addition to the stamp set, you also get the SVG, and you can see how I store them. So I've cut the SVG to make my little stamped images. I have them all stored just right behind my little stamp. And I cut these with a Cricut Joy Extra, and I usually cut them 4, 5, 6, have a little like binge cutting session, and then I can shove all those blanks into the back of my stamp, and I'm good to go. Also in tonight's bundle is Copper Chroma Glaze. We're going to be playing with that, so we're going to get a little bit messy today. The Duo Foil washi sheets. These are the Scoops washi sheets, and I love them. They're so cool. Wait till you see them all foiled and how we're going to use them on our collection. And then, so this is the stencil. It is from Create Your Own Ending. And I cannot, because I don't have the packaging for it, because I went to Create Your Own Ending. And when you go, the products are done by classes, so you don't get like the packaging that goes with it. that goes with each individual stencil and things, the way you would if you just ordered it from the site. But I can't remember what this is called. I want to say it's something doodles or woven, star woven doodles, but it is in that collection. So when you go and click on the link and go to the collection, you can find the stencil. So in addition to the bundle tonight, I'm just going to grab some A2 card bases and some Not Your Mama's cardstock. And then we can get going here. So since we're going to use this mixed media, and this card project has a mixed media element, we're definitely going to go ahead and use the Not Your Mama's cardstock. So it's nice and thick because we'll be adding wet ingredients to it. And we are also, I have over here, like right in front of me, some warm soapy water in a little stencil tray. Hi, Samantha. I am so excited you're here. It's so nice to see you. So I am cutting this Not Your Mama's cardstock at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's just going to cover all of the front of our card. And then I'm going to cut another strip that is going to be 2 by 5 1/2. And we're going to set that aside. That's just going to be another aspect of our card that we're going to need. I'm going to go ahead and grab my low tack tape. Set this aside. We're not going to need this right away. So this stencil is an A2 stencil, which means it is exactly 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We are going to use it. I'm going to stencil the whole front. And then when it dries, that's when we're going to trim it down. Because we will end up with the little outline pieces of the stencil. I don't know about you. I personally like to trim those off to give it more of a look of like an infinity look, but you could leave them on. There's no reason why you couldn't. And tonight, I'm going to show you something that I personally think is so cool. I hope that you like it. It's just a little technique so that you don't waste any of your product, and it just requires one little tool that you probably already have in your stash. So let's go ahead and get started with our chroma glaze. Now, copper chroma glaze is just like most chroma glazes or mattes or textures from Bruce Monroe. It looks one way when it's wet, and then by the magic of TV, it dries and it looks completely different. So I'm gonna put a pretty nice, I always overdo the glaze. I know that I say that all the time, but I'm gonna do my best to just put a nice thin layer. But I want to make sure that I get good coverage. I want the beautiful design, and I don't want it to be too thin. I don't want you to see that white paper underneath. I don't think I don't think Penny's with us tonight. I think we're all alone. Maybe she'll pop in later. I'm not sure. So we're just going to give this a nice even coat. So how's everybody's Monday going? And also, what is your favorite kind of ice cream? I mean, I feel like we're going to be talking about ice cream all month of September. I don't know that I have a favorite kind of ice cream, but I like vanilla based ice creams. I do not like chocolate ice cream. And I don't like the moose tracks when ice cream has like chunks and stuff in it, but it's a chocolate base. I don't like that. I don't like chocolate ice cream at all. I know, so strange. And I've always been that way. I've just never enjoyed it. Okay. So there's our glaze through our stencil. And then we're going to make a little bit of a mess, but it's not going to be a big mess. So this is what I do. I have an X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to get it underneath the stencil and push it through that repositionable tape. It goes right through. And that way, if your repositionable tape has attached itself a little more than it should have, you can still easily get the stencil off. Okay. So there is what it looks like, all dry, all wet. And we're gonna, let me put it up here so you can see. All wet. We're gonna set that aside to dry. Now, this is just the rest of that Not Your Mama's cardstock, right? That I cut the base for. So I'm going to remove this tape. I'm going to take my stencil and I'm going to turn it upside down. And then I'm going to take a brayer. And I'm going to use the brayer right over the whole stencil. Give it a good press down. Get as much of that leftover glaze onto the paper. Pull it up. And then pop your stencil into your water. And look at how much little, like suddenly your stencil is, you're not wasting. And I know that this looks super subtle right now. Like it's hard for you to even see kind of what you did, right? But wait. Because by the magic of TV, I have them all dried and ready to go. I'm just going to pop this here and I'm going to drop my brayer right into that water too. It won't hurt it at all. So, by the magic of TV, once you have, whoops, this dried. Now you saw what it looked like wet, right? So dry, look how different that copper chroma glaze dries. Right? Isn't that gorgeous? And then bonus card, bonus background. This is what that brayer one looks like that dried. Isn't that awesome? I love that technique. And all you need is a brayer or like a little rolling pin. I wonder if you can see. I hope that the screen is showing like the texture. It's so cool. So 2 backgrounds, 1 creative session, and very little waste. Pretty cool, huh? And there's a little trick for you. So let me catch up on the comments here quick. Karen says she likes coffee and vanilla. Kate says she loves chocolate. I won't hold it against you, Kate. It's okay. Kate said you make it look so neat. I make a mess. Oh, make a mess by all means. I mean, this is just me. I can't help it, but by all means, I am all for a mess. Oh, Candy's here. Hi, Candy. Candy said she's popping in to say hi. Oh, the Vikings are playing tonight. Well, that's completely understandable. Candy, you are welcome to come back and watch the replay. So this is the dry one, and you see how it has the lines? I'm just going to follow those lines that are there from the stencil and trim those bits off. Very simple. Candy says she loves it too. Isn't that a neat technique? I love to do stuff like that because I love to be able, I'm always that girl that's like, why make 1 card when I can make 2? And how can I go about doing that to make it easier? So you only have to pull out 1 stencil, 1 glaze, make a little bit of a mess or make a lot of mess, and then have 2 backgrounds that look completely different. So there is what's going to start as our card front. The next little layer we are going to give it is we're going to get some Prom Queen Stellar ink and a blending brush. Bye, Candy. Enjoy your football game. Okay, so I'm just going to put, we want just a touch of that pink all the way around the edge of our card up front. So you'll notice I didn't pull any pattern papers out. So there's no pattern paper on this card. And that means that we need to add some color in a couple of different ways. We can't just, if we just left this just like this, it would, with just that chroma glaze, it would, when you're all finished with your card, that card front would look boring, for lack of a better word. We need a little contrast. We need to bump that color up a little bit. And so this is how we're going to go about doing that. We're going to take this beautiful bright pink Prom Queen and we're going to ink the edges up. So we're going to go ahead and take that away. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to work with our stamp set and our blanks from our SVG. So I've already cut the blanks. Kate says she's going to try it in the morning. Yes, Kate. I would love if you guys tried that and let me know how it goes. I've done it with a couple different stencils now. And every time I've done it, I've always really loved the results. So I hope you do too. So for our card tonight, we're going to use, so we have 4 sentiments. Here's the scoop. You're amazing. And you're my favorite flavor on this stamp set. We're going to use 2 cones and both of the ice creams. And then I'm going to use the here's the scoop sentiment. So those are the blanks that I need to take out of the back of here. So we need one of the scoops, one of the ice cream that's like soft serve, or I can't help it. Every time I see this, I want to color it like Dole Whip, and that's what I did. And then I don't know if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's my last cone, which is okay because I've used a bunch of them. This will be plenty for us to show you guys how to line it up and work with it. And I think this is the sentiment that we want. Yep. Sometimes if you need to line it up, if you're having a hard time figuring out what SVG or what blank goes with which stamp, you can just place it right over the printed front. And if it's out of whack, if it doesn't fit perfectly right over that stamp set or right over the stamp you want, a couple of good thoughts, flip it over. Sometimes that happens because these are blanks, right? They don't have any images on them. Or if it's a sentiment, kind of turn it up the other direction, but you can usually match them up really, really easily. Amanda said, yay, Dole Whip. I love Dole Whip. So good. We, 2 weeks ago, so Labor Day weekend, we went away. And one of the things we did was we went to an amusement park and they have Dole Whip there. And I got the largest Dole Whip they had because I knew that this was it. This was the last hurrah, and I wasn't going to get any more till next summer. So I got the largest Dole Whip they had. And before you say ask, yes, I ate it all myself. So I'm going to take off the middle piece of my stick and stamp mat. This is where a stick and stamp mat becomes your new best friend. Oop, I smacked my table. Sorry if I was shaky there. Okay, so we have our black ink. We have our blanks. We have our stick and stamp mat. Where did I put my stamp set? Seriously. Okay. There's the stamp set. Set it off to the side, so I wouldn't put my Misty directly on top of it and then lose it, and then I lost it anyway. So this is how we do this. Yeah, I know I think that's where it started, Kate, was in Walt Disney, was in Disney World. I have never been to Disney World. But I know that many like the amusement park we went to, I know that we usually go to a couple, at least once a year, sometimes more. They definitely have it. And I think others now have it too. But I think that it started at Disney World. So if you're like me, you have a favorite side. So anytime I have a blank and I'm stamping onto the blank, for whatever reason, I don't know why, I always tend to move my stamp too far to the right. And then it's not even all the way around. Personally, I'm not going to mess with that. And I don't want to go through blanks if they're, like, I don't want to do it over and over again. So I have no problem when I do that. Just going ahead, getting some fussy cut scissors and evening out the little halo around my stamped image. Does not bother me in the least. But I think it's kind of funny that I inevitably, like when I'm doing this, I might get my head in the way because I know that I tend to go ahead and get that stamp too far to the right. And that I want to make sure it is as even as possible because the more even it is, the less I feel like I need to fussy cut it. Even so, trimming it, giving it a little haircut is still easier to me than fussy cutting it completely. And I think that that is like the hardest part of using an SVG for your stamp is lining it up. That being said, I also think the hardest part of using a metal die is lining up your metal die so that it's even on all the sides without needing a haircut. So, oh, Margie's here. Hello, Margie. So nice to see you. Look, we did it. It's beautiful. See? I'm so proud. Perfect. It's all about getting your little head in there, right? That's the trick. The trick is don't be afraid to get your little head down in there and really like look. Look at what you're stamping. Oh, Amanda says her favorite ice cream is from a local shop. It's called Boston Blackout and it's extremely chocolate. Also love coffee Oreo. I do like coffee ice cream. I really do. Coffee is very good. Amanda's is not one ice cream. Okay, so one of my favorite Haagen-Dazs flavors in those little cartons is pineapple coconut ice cream. It is like, I don't know, it's like a tropical drink and you can even throw a little rum in it. Delicious. Anyway, it's called pineapple coconut. It's my favorite and I have some downstairs in my freezer. So you know that after all this ice cream talk, I'm going downstairs and having some pineapple coconut ice cream. We have a local ice cream shop that does frozen custard, which is like a version. It's like ice cream on steroids. So it's like super, super thick, like really thick, like thicker than you would expect. And I think my phone's upside down. Did we get the right way? Using my little head for a second. Hold on. I got to get this just right. Because I got that first one just right. And now we really need to get the second one just right. Right? We can't mess it up. All right. So it is frozen custard. They make it at the store. They have a couple locations just in our area. And it is so good. It makes like regular ice cream sort of taste watery, kind of, because that's just how like thick and creamy it is. Amanda says, fortunately, she doesn't have any in the freezer. Wow. Oh, look, this worked. This one worked too. This one is a little up a little bit, but pretty good. So those are my tips and tricks for doing the ice cream cones and stamping them onto the SVG blanks. My best practices there. I am going to take these and just pop them right into the back of my stamp set now because I have ones already stamped and colored up and ready to go. So, by the magic of TV, we can go right to the already colored ones. So when you buy your stamp set and you get the SVGs, I recommend cutting them 5 times, sometimes more, but 5 times gives you lots of blanks and 5 times kind of fills up the back of your stamp packaging. So I think if you cut more, then you'd have to move everything into another container, which I will do eventually, but this is a nice little package for starting out. So, by the magic of TV, here is our little cones. So we have our 2 cones, which I did color them a little orangish this time. And I almost redid them, but I decided that they would work just fine. And I did do a strawberry, a chocolate, and mint chocolate chip ice cream for the little stack. And then here's the other one, which looks like Dole Whip. So there's all of our ice creams ready to go. The next thing that we need for tonight's card project, the next part of our bundle are the duo foil washi sheet, the scoops. So pretty much you get 2 of these sheets, and everywhere you see black, it will foil. So cute, right? Like so cute. So I always take, if I'm going to foil a sheet, I always take my washi sheets, and the first thing I do is cut them down. So I cut all the way around the edge. Then I cut one card panel that is 4¼ by 5½, right off the top. So you see it, I kind of did this section of the sheet. And then I take the rest of the sheet and cut it into pieces, because I personally find that it is way, way, way easier to foil, and I get better impressions with these kind of smaller pieces than with the larger pieces. Speaking of, did you guys see the foilable card panels for this month? Off on a tangent. I have them here if you want me to show them to you, because just leave me a comment. I will grab them and show them to you. They're so darling. I haven't gotten a chance to foil them yet, but they are the cutest things. So that's what I did. First, I cut the washi sheet down. Then I foiled each section. So I grabbed some foil from my stash. I wanted something coppery. So this is the Deco Foil Transfer Foils. I wanted to play on the copper in our on our background. So I chose this one. This one is Sparkling Cider. So it's a little bit holographic. It's a little bit of that orange coppery color to match everything. And then here's what it looks like, all foiled. So I just cut the foil sheets down, and then I foiled the smaller sections. That is just a me thing. I know Christopher does it completely differently when he has showed foiling. This is just what I like. I like to cut it all down. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and use that 2-inch piece that we saved. Remember when we cut down our card panel? I say go ahead and get yourself a 2-inch piece. We're actually going to trim this down a little bit because no, wait, hold on. Let me check my example. Nope, we're not going to cut it down. I was wrong. So sorry. All right. So then we're going to take these washi sheets. Don't they look awesome foiled? I think they look so cool. And what I want is I want to, again, no pattern paper. So we want to kind of make our own, right? We want to have fun and make our own little design. So I'm going to take these sheets and put them at like wonky angles in any kind of sort of pattern that I like. Get this one down here. And then we'll turn this off, and we'll just kind of make our own little foiled striped paper. Hi, Jamie. So nice to see you tonight. So we have these two. Then we'll go ahead and we'll change up the color. I'm going to trim this one down. This is cut in such a way that it's kind of giving me like an edge of the washi strip above it. And I don't like that. So I'm moving it. Mm. We'll just wrap that one around. Cut this one. And then we'll see if there's any place else that we need. And these can overlap a little bit. This is our pattern paper that we are creating so we can make it however we want. So let me get this middle piece because I think I like the idea of putting it from right there down. Yep. And actually, we'll just tuck that underneath. I'm going to take this little piece and put it up here and trim it off. There we go. And you could keep going with the washi, the foiled washi if you want, or you could, I'm going to leave mine just like that. But you could just keep going and create lots and lots of different layers for the washi. So now we have our card base, and here's our little strip. And I want these two pieces to look seamless, right? So I want them to kind of coordinate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab that same prom queen ink, and I'm going to go right around the edges. And the washi will take the prom queen ink just like any of the other paper will. So you don't have to worry about that. It's not going to try to like resist it or anything like that. It will just go ahead and take it right up. And that will give both of these card layers that same little touch of pink around the edges. And they will work very much alike. Another thing I'm going to do to make this a little more like dramatic is I'm going to take this 2-inch piece and I'm going to pop it up with some foam tape. Oh, there's Penny. Hi, Billion. How you doing? I was just talking about you. There was no one here to say the magic words. So here is some foam tape, and I'm just going to place that on the back of that 2-inch panel. And that's going to give this a little bit of lift, right? So our foiled and inked panel is not going to blend in to our background. Now it's going to be popped up, and we're gonna really be able to see that it is different from the background. Quickly wipe up my glass now. So the hardest part here is going to be getting this perfectly centered. I have the coolest glass mat ever, and it actually has little like tick marks so that I can place my background into right within those tick marks, and I can see exactly where the center of my background is, which makes lining things up super duper easy. And do I still sometimes get things crooked? Yes. So now this front piece is popped up, and you can definitely see how it is different from our background. Now we can put together our cones. So I'm just going to go over. And I have my scissors handy here because I think I might be giving our Dole Whip a little bit of a haircut, just so that it looks more natural to be able to sit on top of the cone. I hope that makes sense. So we're going to grab there's our first little ice cream. Although we could put the cone on top. Maybe that makes it, maybe that's a little better. Yeah. Okay, so we're not going to give it a haircut, but you totally could. We're going to have the Dole Whip kind of sinking more in the cone, because I feel like that's how it's served. Like it's in, when you take a picture of a Dole Whip cone, like it's in the cone. Whereas the ice cream definitely kind of comes out and over the edges. Okay. So you could add some shimmer pen to this ice cream if you wanted, and that would give you more sparkle. So I think basically what I want to do with these cones is I want to have them interacting with each other, and I want to create this kind of upside down triangle, right? Because that is the perfect little spot to put the sentiment. And then we don't have any trapped white space. Everything is together. Our eyes love it when things touch. And we don't like trapped white space. What do I mean by trapped white space? Well, if I took this and I put it right down here, every time you looked at this card, your eye, tell me I'm wrong, but your eye goes right to that spot right there. That's just where your eye's going to go. It's going to go right there. Like, what is going on with that big hole there, right? So everything should touch. And then as soon as you kind of move that up, then you're good. So there is where we're going to put our ice cream cones. And I love how Penny says, Oh no, through the magic of television. Sorry, better late than never. In like 3 different places, like 3 different names. For emphasis, we want to make sure we didn't miss it. Oh, that's awesome. I am just putting wet glue on this side of my ice cream cone, and then I'm going to put a little bit of foam tape on the other side because it's going to go off the edge a little bit. And I do want to make sure that I have some. I want everything to stay at the same level. I don't want the other half of this ice cream cone to dip down. So same foam tape, same dimension. And then we can just kind of tuck our ice cream cone in, and it's all at the same level. I don't mind that you're late. We're good. All right. And then this one, which comes kind of over here, is not going to need that extra bit of foam tape because it goes off the edge, but it just goes off the edge by like the smallest little bit. There we go. And then the last piece we're going to do is our sentiment. And there is our card project tonight. What do you guys think? Pretty fun, huh? Oh, we still put on the card base. Hold on. Not done yet. There we go. Now our cute little card project is done. And it is good enough to eat. How fun is that? I am going to have so much fun with these products this month. They're so, so cute. I love them. So I hope that you liked tonight's card project. Again, the bundle is only $29 and change tonight. And the only extras you need outside of the bundle is just some white cardstock and some pink ink and your card base. So everything's in that bundle for you to make a card too. Thank you so much, Amanda. All right, you guys have a wonderful evening. Have fun the rest of the week with everyone else that's going to come on and show you amazing, adorable things here at Brutus Monroe. And if you're interested, you can go ahead and do a little bit of shopping in the description box. And I will see you next Monday for more ice cream fun. Thank you so much, Kate. Thank you, Amanda. No, thank you, Amanda, for coming. Thank you for coming. I always love having you all here join me. Thank you so much, Samantha. Have a lovely night, everybody, and we'll